So you have a new paper coming out, Preschool Drawing and Mathematics, the Nature of the Association, where you look at the factors influencing individual differences in drawing. And you also look at the relationship between drawing and mathematics ability. But could you just start by telling us a little bit about why you chose to look at drawing, what makes it an interesting trait to study?
Of course. So there are several reasons why we really wanted to look into drawing and why it's interesting for us. I think the main reason is that drawing is an activity that all children really enjoy, and every child seems to naturally progress into making a drawing without any input from external sources. And so we thought that because this behavior is so enjoyed and so natural, was interesting in itself, but also although every child draws, there are huge differences in children's drawing performance even at a young age. And we wanted to look at what causes these differences in performance between children, and so what are the origins of why we differ, and specifically linked to mathematics, because drawing and mathematics both have a spatial component to them. So in order to produce a successful drawing, you need to be aware of space and the features of the drawing within the space, and mathematics has been associated with spatial ability by several sources in the literature. And so we wanted to look at whether, because of the spatial nature, drawing could be specifically associated to mathematical ability beyond general intelligence.
You mentioned that individual differences in drawing have different origins. Could you just tell us a little bit about how you studied this?
Of course. So in our study we used the twin method to look at the origins of individual differences in drawing ability at age 4.5, when children were 4.5. So the kids produced a drawing of the human figure when they were 4.5, and these kids were twins. So we have monozygotic twins who share 100% of the genetic makeup, and dizygotic twins who share on average 50% of the segregating genes, so the genes that differ between people. And by comparing the similarity in drawing performance between monozygotic twins and dizygotic twins, we were able to decompose the variance, so the individual differences in the trait, into genetic, shared environmental and non-shared environmental effects. So genetic influences are calculated by comparing the correlation, comparing the similarity between monozygotic twins and dizygotic twins, and to the extent that monozygotic twins, so identical twins, are more similar for a trait than dizygotic twins, there is genetic influences are implied. And then shared environmental influences are those factors that contribute to similarities between twins raised in the same family. And non-shared environmental influences are those factors that do not contribute to similarities between two twins raised in the same family.
And could you tell us a little bit about what you found in your study?
So we did find that drawing is partly heritable, so is about 20% heritable, and that shared environmental factors explain about 30% of the variance, and the rest is explained by non-shared environmental factors, which are those factors that do not contribute to similarities between twins raised in the same family. And this is in line with some previous research that looked at drawing 6 months earlier in the same sample, so when the children were 4, and they found that drawing was about 30% heritable, so similar estimates of heritability. So overall we found that both genetic and environmental factors contribute to individual differences in drawing, and that particularly of importance in this context are the shared environmental factors.
And you also looked at the relationship between drawing ability and mathematics. Could you tell us a little bit about this relationship and whether earlier drawing is able to predict later mathematics ability?
Yes, we were. And in fact, drawing ability predicts mathematical ability 8 years afterwards. So we looked at drawing both at age 4 and 4.5, and we found that there was an association with mathematical ability later on. However, when we take into consideration general intelligence, the prediction from drawing ability to mathematical ability, it's still significant, but the effect of this prediction is quite small. So most of the association between drawing ability and mathematical ability is accounted for by general intelligence. At the etiological level, so at the origins of the association between mathematical ability and drawing ability are mostly genetics, so that we found that the correlation between drawing ability at 4 and mathematical ability at 12 was explained mostly by genetic factors, about 80% by genetic factors, and the rest by shared environmental factors.
And finally, what should we be taking away from your research? Should we be fostering drawing ability in children to help promote later mathematics ability?
So I wouldn't say that that's what we can take home as a message. What we can take away is the fact that drawing ability is associated with both cognitive ability and mathematical ability, and that drawing ability at a young age is predictive of cognitive skills later on in life. The main message is that cognitive ability, drawing ability at age 4 is actually a good proxy for cognitive ability. It's indicative of cognitive ability and mathematical ability later in life, and that's our take-home message. So it's an important activity that indexes not only artistic skills but also cognitive development.